Okay, so today I will be learning how to animate web pages using TailwindCSS. So learning how to animate buttons and things as you click on them, learning how to animate modals as they open up. This is something new for me, and I'm also going to be using a new tool I discovered called Mighty Meld, which is a visual editor for React applications. It also supports TailwindCSS. I'll be doing this as part of a hackathon where hackathon contestants are editing this template web app, which is a memory game. And so for the first part of the hackathon, we had to make this memory game from a very plain basic template. And so I've created that already. To open the Mighty Meld editor, all you have to do is you have a React application. You have to do a little bit of initial setup to get the Mighty Meld plugin, but then once that's working, you just run npx Mighty Meld, and hopefully that should open up the editor in your browser. So yeah, this is the Mighty Meld editor, and as you can see, looks a little bit like Webflow. You have on the left side, you have this sort of hierarchy of components. And I have already created the nicer version of the memory game. So this is like the basic template that we were given to start with. And so I used Mighty Meld to get to this sort of target version for the first part of the hackathon. And so that is this. Yeah. Actually, it's this. So it looks like part of the React code didn't load when I did that, but yeah, this is the refresh button that reloads the app from scratch. And so actually, if you notice here, I'm actually changing Git branches here in the Mighty Meld editor, and you can push, you can revert changes, and yeah, you can do all this stuff with Git, which is one of the cooler parts of the editor. So yeah, so this is the game that I have now, but as I just said, at the beginning of this video, what I really want to do is I want to add some cool animations. So I'm learning how to do that, and yeah, let's figure that out. I figured out that in order to sort of make custom animations, you probably need to change your Tailwind config. Reason why is because I want to make, for example, I'd like to make it so that when you first load this app, maybe this spins or it fades in or something cool like that. Tailwind has some animations built in that you can just use by their class names, but they're very basic. And then most of them, so you have animate spin, ping, pulse, bounce. These are all pretty cool animations, but they're all infinite, which means that they just keep going on and on, which isn't what you really want for a page transition. So yeah, actually I could just to show how these work. And so I select the div that's selected both in the hierarchy and here in the sort of visual view. And then here you have your class name. This is from React. This is a React prop. You can just paste that in. All right, so there's a spin. Let's try ping. All right, cool. So this is the built-in Tailwind CSS stuff, but this is not what I want because I want it to happen. I want it to happen when the page loads once. Obviously, I don't want this happening all the time. So I think the way to do that is you have to find your Tailwind config. So I'm gonna open this also in VS Code because I could not figure out if you can change your Tailwind config through Mighty Meld. I don't think you can. So here I'm just gonna go to the app thing, and then I'm gonna open it in the editor and open this whole project, this whole repo in VS Code, and then here's the Tailwind config CSS. So there is this part of the config to extend the theme. So what they're showing us how to do here in this helpful article, which I'll also link to in the description of this video, is basically how to set up that config at first, so that you can sort of make your own custom animations. So the first thing that I looked at is how to set up your own keyframes. A custom keyframe is basically something it's a geometrical transformation of something. So spinning or moving, It's an animation. And then, well, that's the keyframe, is like moving from where to where. And then the animation itself is how many times you want it to move from A to B, how fast you want it to do that, and also, do you want it to move like with a constant speed, or do you want it to like start like easing means you sort of speed up and then slow down. So the first thing I talked about, like from A to B, that's called a keyframe, and the second part is called animation. The existing keyframes will probably work for what I want to do. So let's just show how to add an animation first. So basically, I just need to copy something like this, and animation. So this would be like a slow spin. And so this is like the same as the built-in spin, I guess, but it's using like a longer duration. So basically, if I will put that in here, forget like, oh yeah, and then this tricked me up as well. But you have to do, you cannot just copy and paste the animation name directly from the Tailwind config. You have to do like animate spin slow. Okay, so now that works. All we've done here is we've we've created a new animation that TailwindCSS didn't have before, and now it's supported. This is what they had initially. This is what built in, and then this is the new one. That's how you create like a custom animation. And if we wanted to do something like go the other direction, then I think we'd have to add custom keyframes. But for now, that's fine. What I really would like to do is I'd like to make the button spin when the page loads. So I'm gonna do like this here, and I'm gonna add, no, there's already here. So I'm selecting the button. I'm gonna add here in the class name props, animate spin. So this is what's built in with TailwindCSS, this, which is like, obviously cannot be spinning the whole time or you can't click it. So I'm gonna make this spin once, spin for 1 second, and then instead of infinite, I'm just gonna type 1. And now if I do animate spin once, let's see if that works when I refresh. It's pretty good. Cool. And let's see what else we have here. The pulse was pretty cool, so maybe I can do like a pulse once. Pulse once, and try that out. Now I'm not noticing. Let me just check if I did that right. I don't even think I added it here to the class name, did I? So I'm gonna add that, animate pulse once, and refresh. Ooh, okay, so that's what a single pulse looks like. I was expecting something else. What if I change this to ping? Ooh. Doesn't exactly get the feeling that I'm looking for. So we have ping, pulse, bounce. Let's try and bounce once. Yeah, that's cool. But why does it go back up at the end? So the reason why it goes back up is because looking at the keyframes, that shows where it actually ends up, and it starts at the it starts in one place, then it goes someplace, and then at 100% it goes back up to the top. So that's not really what I wanted. Let's make a custom keyframe. Let's try it. So I think the way to do this is just like, so here in the article they're saying how to add keyframes. This is different than the first way I was looking, and then the second way is just like this. Yeah. This looks cool. This looks like you'd have to do this in the CSS itself, but we're doing that here in the TailwindCSS config. So I'm gonna create like new keyframes and put that here, and I'm gonna call this drop, and at the beginning I want it to be like translated up. And then I want it to be higher up, and then at the end it ends up like where it's supposed to end up. And so that should drop it. And then I'm gonna do like here where we were messing around, I'm gonna call this, let's just call this drop once, and I'm gonna call this animate drop once. Yeah. Okay, I mean, that's not as cool. And so then the other thing they're doing there is like, it's not linear. So they have like cubic. Not sure if I can use that. Oh, I can actually use that here in my own. So I could use that cubic motion, but I'm just gonna use like ease. That's pretty cool as well. It's not as cool as the bouncing, but I do like it. Yeah, I like it, it's cool. That's basically first how you'd make like custom animation, which is this part, and then the custom keyframe. And the custom animation is like, yeah, it's the timing and the speed and the number of times, and the keyframe is like the actual animation itself, from where to where. Spinning, moving, fading, all of that. So yeah, now I thought it would be really cool to make these spin when you click on them. That should be pretty easy actually. We already have spin once, so I'm just gonna like select one of these boxes, and here, this is a component, but so this is a div component, which is part of a back component, which is the back of the card. So once I click here and I select the back component, then I should be able to add this to, I don't want to add it to the back of the card, I actually want to add it to the front of the card, so that when you see the front of the card, then it spins. It's like nothing happened. Because I didn't use animate before spin once. It's not the first time I made that mistake. Now remember, that has to go not there, but it should go here on the front of the card, so that when I do this, it kind of spins around. That's cool. Maybe you could go a little faster. Yeah. Should we do like a spin once fast? Let's try. Oh, okay, cool. And then here, yeah, spin once fast. Let's try this. Whew, that's fast. Animations are really satisfying to make. Okay, here. So like the escape key switches between editing and testing. Make it a little bit slower. And like sometimes it just refreshes the whole app. That's perfect. Okay, now I think it would be pretty cool if when you got two right, that they'll like blow up. So we have this one called ping, which was sort of like making it shrink down. But I want to do the opposite. So I want to make, for this we need to make new keyframes. Not like that, but like this. I'm going to call it grow. And then this is like, okay, the transform is scale. So scale from 100% to 200%, so that should make it grow. And then I have to make a new animation for that, I think. I'll call it grow once. Use grow. Let's give it a second. Ease, and just do it once. Okay, so going back to here, yeah, Mighty Meld does make it like a little bit easier to like figure out where what thing you're editing at some point. But so here, like there's this little button, go to parent component. And if you can't find that button, you'd be quite lost. So you have to figure out how this hierarchy works. And when it's matched, then I want to animate the grow once. Okay. Now we have to play. Ooh, that was pretty good. Now I want it to also fade when it's doing that. So opacity. Okay, so like. So I suppose here I would do like opacity. Not actually here, but here I would do like opacity 0. Is that right? And then that should make it like fade out as it grows. Not like front end is all about just guessing. Yeah. And then a little bit bigger. Okay. That's really cool. That's basically what I was looking for. So you have those animations, you have this. It would be kind of cool to make the whole thing maybe fade in as well when it's dropping. So maybe I'll just do that. But to do that, oh yeah, so I already have this keyframe, so that'll be easy. So that just means we start at opacity 0. Yeah, I like that a lot. This button spinning is a bit extra, but that's my style. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot more we could do here. But this is simple and cool, so I'm gonna leave it like that. So now I want to publish this. It's already on GitHub, but I want to publish all the changes I've made. Now, what MuddyMeld does is it just updates your code files. So if I go like back to the terminal and I do like a git diff, we can already see it's made all of this, all of these changes, like adding in the class names is basically what we've done. And then you can also do that in MuddyMeld as well, in like a little bit of a different format. But yeah, here you see the diffs, everything that's been added, and then here's the tailwind that I changed. So I would like to make a new branch. Okay, we're going to create a new branch and we're going to call it, I already did something like this before, so I'm just going to call this animated entry 2. Okay, create. So I have a new branch and I'm going to push. I'm just going to say add animations, and yeah, should be pushed. So if I go to my GitHub repo here, I see like, okay, animated entry 2 has been pushed. And yeah, simplest way to deploy is to go to Netlify, add a new site, import an existing project, deploy with GitHub. And here, no wait, I need to just type in the name of the repo, which was MuddyMeld, MuddyMeld memory. Select the right branch, animated entry 2. Sometimes you need to change these, but npm run build is correct for this React app. And yeah, that's really all you have to do to deploy it. So it's like my second day playing around with MuddyMeld. It takes a bit of time to figure out how to navigate. I've mainly used it just for editing the class names, but yeah, I'm hoping to figure out some other uses for it. And yeah, seems like a pretty cool thing. Cool. So yeah, the idea for this hackathon was to do it in I think 400 pixel mode. So that's like an iPhone, something like this. Yeah, something like this. And then there we go with animations. You can see like this is already live at this link, and I'll also post a little link to this app. So yeah, just learned how to use Mighty Meld, just learned how to do CSS animations in Tailwind. I never really took the time to do it. It's pretty simple. Check out this cool article. Yeah, it'll explain everything in like 10 minutes to you, and yeah, this has been fun.